Okay, everyone, welcome to Models Talk by New Look Africa. And guys, I have something very sweet I want us to talk about today. So, as models, we all know that there's this notion going around as per signed models and unsigned models. To sign what do you really need to be signed to the industry, or you can make it up a whole? I will say you can make it up a whole. So, what do you guys do? Your experiences and other path. Ladies first.
Okay. As an unsigned model, I think he can go far, but as a signed model, I think he can go farther. And the reason why I say this is that being a side model, it's more of you paying people to get their connections. There's some connections that you can't get by yourself, maybe because you're too young or because you're not being in that circle yet. And getting signed and having a booker that has connections with bigger people, bigger opportunities. I feel like they can bring the opportunity to you as a signed model. Yeah, but being on site too doesn't limit you from anything. I feel like you can also grow your own community.
One thing that people don't like is that when you're signed, all the money that would normally just come straight to will not get cut by your agents.
It's business. You guys need to understand the business of movie. Like I always tell model, you cannot make money in this thing. Then there's no need being here. They're not doing charity work, something. When you say commission, right?
Yeah.
For example, if I want to book you, you're on site, you can often a sign model, let's say 150. I'll definitely offer you maybe 60,000 or 70,000.
Wow. That's how it. That is a very crazy.
That's how it is. I don't even tell you the sign.
Some brands now understand this thing, right? So if they want to maybe talk to you directly, sometimes maybe if you're on sign, they might offer you low money than where you are signed.
But why it's that?
It's like that in most cases. They just have to understand the business, and you can't negotiate for yourself. Also, on sign model, you don't have to negotiate for yourself. You don't read contracts. So somebody give you contracts, you don't read, you don't know what's in the contract. You just because you are desperate, you need to be on the screen, you need to make quick money. It's about quick money for unsigned models. They made that money.
Like I said, the desperation. Some of them, you see them doing 10 shoots in a week, 100 shoots. How much are they getting? How much do you make? What do you make?
So most of them are desperate, but most signed models, the agency or your booker or whoever is in charge takes time, go through your contract, your image rights, everything. Okay, you want to use in the next 2 years, I guess you pay the model. You have to have other systems because some brands might do a shoot that the next 5 years are still using it, and you as a model you're getting nothing. So this is how some of the things your booker look into before arrange for you to put for a shoot.
Is it a good idea to want to put it being signed?
I think being signed or not being signed is not an issue. It's about where the model is at that particular time. Where are you in your career at this point? There are some models that are now freelance that maybe 4 or 5 years ago they were signed. So they were signed, they stay under the management, they understood the business of modeling. So when maybe their contract expired, okay, I want to be my own now, I feel I can do this, I understand this. Some go on to make it, some do go on to make it, right? So you just basically have to understand the business. Always understand the business. Let's make a decision from an informed position. If that will really help you or not, whether you are signed or you are not signed.
I feel like for signed models, the bookers, they always, for instance, I noticed one thing with my teleabritics. So when I read the contract or like read a job contract, I see that I'm getting so much. Then they write plus 20% of I think 20% agency file. So I think they also give the client their own pay for supplying the model. So then they be us too for bringing the clients to there. And I feel like that always is fair higher. And also in the way they market you, the grooming and everything, they can say, oh, this girl, she plays volley, she can ride bicycle, she's one of our top models, she knows how to interact with clients. They bill you higher. If I model without any much of a personality, or maybe you're just burying me like a baby model, and yeah, they'll just say, okay, this one you can take her for 1,000. She'll do the job, but she's not, every day. But this one, you'd have so much fun with it, and she'll do the job too. So which one you at?
Most time, this industry is based on referral. If I book you and you come to my set and if you give any help, I'm telling my friend, see what happened. They won't want to book you again. This person will tell this other person, so that you spread around before you know you get black mistake. You will turn. I won't say black. So you will get. When you get booked, yeah. So we'll just. So in essence, let's just tell models always be here for while you're on set.
Okay, so what about models that get cheated by the agencies? Whereby, okay, you hear this brand paid this certain amount, let's say 500k, and we are going home with 100k. Where did the 400k go?
Well, see, you have to understand business. There are good agencies, there are bad agencies, right? But for somebody, a model getting cheated by the agency, you have to be sure what was paid, right? Let's say, for example, you say 500k. If maybe the client now gives you a pro, then you sign a contract with your agency. You have to give your money. But since you so far sign the contract, okay, I'm taking maybe 10%, 2%. You have to give your money, and you can drag it to wherever you want to drag it to code authentic. If you are running a good agency, this is based on trust. We can't keep doing this and expect to be in business for 10.
How do you tell the good agencies? How do you tell the agency? So what are the red flags? The red flag or the red flag? I feel the first flag. The first red flag I noticed by agency, they approach you and they say you should pay me red flag. Red flag.
Yeah, you have to pay money. That's to pay money. That's we're not paying money to the agency. So you're not an employee of the agency. We have contracts, right? I try to get you jobs. You take a percentage, your share, my share, good developments and everything. So it's not like I pay more than percent. No, nobody does that. So I definitely don't support anybody doing that.
One thing I always love that my booker does is when they come, they tell me the rate of the job. So I already know how much I am getting before I even do the job. So, when my contract comes, when I get to see my statement of account, then I compare with what they've said. Then I compare with what I have in my accounts. It is the same thing, okay? There are sometimes that some agencies, they don't tell you the rates. And I would always advise models to always ask that you should know how much they're getting for this job. Don't go to a job without knowing how much you're getting.
My models ask me how much to pay.
I feel like models, one thing we do not understand as models is that we are supposed to talk to our bookers, to our business partners.
So I think the fact that we're scared.
I
think we're scared because you see that if you ask questions, we'll drop you.
This your boss mentality. Sometimes we're so scared to talk to them because maybe they have given us this 10 look one time, but they are just corrected of us and everybody's just dating it and all of that. But the thing is, you actually have to treat your bookers or your agency like a business partner. It doesn't mean you have to be rude to them. It just means you have to talk to them. Okay, why are my rates? I usually ask my agents why my rates are low. I know how much rates that after a job your rate increases, so I know how much my rate is. I would ask my booker, okay, how much is my rate now? And they'll tell me, okay, this is my rate. That means any job they get me, I would not get lower than that amount. I'll get either that amount or more than that. So you need to talk to them as a Nespa house. Of course, you can, have fun with them. Sometimes you can even go out, have lunch, have coffee dates, anything. Seriously. But then, once you don't treat them like they just treat you like just another random.
There's a very popular agency. They're like, work. You can't even tell her, oh, I'm busy, I cannot work. They will like, what are you doing? Why are you not working? Or why can't you go for this shoot? Why can't you go for this casting? So you tell me, somebody goes for casting like 5 times a week. And then one time, when says, I cannot work, but then the agency is why you never work.
But that's why there is a contract. Because these things are supposed to be in the contract. And you as a model, you read the contract maybe you saw it or you didn't read the contract or you speak me. Because I'm pretty sure before that particular desk you are talking about agree what they agree, it will be the contract. The model did not read the contract.
You have a standing ground with them. Okay, this is what is written down, right? But if you don't go through that contract and understand, okay, this clause is not there. Anytime they call you, you must come, you must turn up. So you have to keep showing up.
I've actually signed a contract that says you cannot skip jobs. You can't reject jobs or reject castings.
What if it's a
And
job
I
you're
have-
not comfortable with?
So, before signing the contract, you always ask us what you're
Yeah.
comfortable with. So me, I already write that down. That, okay, I'm comfortable with this. Now, if they send me to a job that, it is not something that I have signed prior, I'll call my booker. I'll tell my booker, okay, this is what they are asking me to show, and I did not sign this contract. If they want me to still do the job, then I'll be able to ask, okay, are they going to pay more? If they are paying more, then I'll wait to stay and do the job. But if they are not paying more, then there's no point staying to do the job. I'll just leave. And the reason why I can just leave is because I have a contract. And also, maybe the client already paid for transportation, hotel. So literally, I'm not losing anything. I can just go back to wherever I came from. So, yeah.
So what about models that can't get out of the contract?
No, a contract. That's why I said.
No, that's like contracts whereby it's renewable.
No, I'll keep saying it. These things come down to contract. When somebody gives you a contract, even if it's 100 pages, sit down, go through it. If you don't understand it, go to a lawyer.
Not everybody.
Because
There's always loopholes.
everybody has
See,
that kind
if
of
you read the-
time.
No, it's not about
Because
the time. Like,
if you don't have the time, it's your business, it's your life. You're talking
sir,
okay,
there
now
is
you
like,
want to. Now
there's
you
like
want to.
loopholes. What people that will hide.
Yeah, there are some things that
They will hide it.
That's
back
why you
in the
read.
middle.
So if you don't understand, you take it to a lawyer that understand the
I think
contract.
there was a friend
Because
of mine.
normally contract will have expiring date. They'll tell you maybe after let's say
Like,
for maybe you sign the contract for 4 years.
Mm.
Okay, maybe 6 months before your contract, and you send us a letter or something. Well, you will miss that.
Exactly.
So if you miss that, maybe you miss 6 months, maybe 3 months
3 months.
before your contract expires, now send message. That's not what the contract says,
that's
and you
good.
already signed.
There was a friend of mine. She went to this agency. Like I said, very well known agency again.
Okay.
And they gave her a contract. And then they were like, sign the contract. Sign it right there. And she's like, no, I need to go home. They're like, how are you doing like you don't know where you are? Do you know the agency that you're in? Sign the contract. And they say,
That's it.
you see, times like that, situations like that, sign the contract and you don't know the agency.
Do you know
They
they're
didn't-
not bound to sign
They're
that?
not bound to sign because they are not being
You can actually
forced to
walk
sign.
out.
You can walk away.
I mean, it's a
You can walk away.
If I was in
I
that
think I
situation,
know the agent.
if I was in that situation, I can't like, I'll probably sign that contract.
Because
And my life will
maybe
probably finish.
probably because you see what you want to benefit from the
Yeah.
agency.
And knowing that you're a top agent.
Yeah.
You see what you want to benefit from the agency, but literally you don't putting yourself in that situation. You can still say you don't want to sign the contract.
You want to
Yeah.
get home. You can
I
say,
still
you
want
don't-
to
You
read
don't
the
sign
contract. I want to show a
and
friend
then,
as my
you know,
lawyer.
This kind of opportunity doesn't come again. And you're like sitting on your house like, oh, I wish I had signed that contract. All these things.
So sometimes, even if you are a young model, you still need to do your own research, read about this stuff before you go and start looking for contract. You need to really read. It's very important because that contract, what everything depends on. So this is the day something will happen. That's when agencies will now bring contract out. Okay, what is this? What is that? If you didn't read it, then you can drag them to anywhere. They'll just bring out the contract and show the court, and case will end.
I would say all aspiring models should actually get orientation. Like
Yes.
Yeah.
very, very detailed orientation that okay, these are your non-negotiables. Like if someone is saying this to you, don't sign it. Don't think of but this agency is so big, they'll bring me these opportunities. Don't always think of that because at the long run they'll still do more. If they are forcing you to sign a contract, just imagine what they'll do to you later. Like they would actually force you to do a job that you don't want to do.
This particular big agent, everybody should know this agency.
Everybody
should know.
Everybody.
I don't know. I don't want to hear anybody name, please.
I don't call it name.
I don't
But
know.
these agencies are signing models and then keeping them on one side. You understand? So I have friends that they are signed to the agency and they tell me that they have been signed, they're not getting jobs. And the next thing they're calling that anybody that doesn't work this season will drop them. So now, as an upcoming model that we are seeing everywhere now, would it be smart for the upcoming model to either sign to a big agency or an upcoming agency that's just starting?
There are advantage and disadvantages of, big agencies or small agencies. Let me tell you one thing. There are some brands that when it's time for like a show campaign or anything, they go to the bigger ones first. Now, if you send in your models and they can't find what they want, they go to the middle one. If you send yours and they can't find what they want, they go to the smaller ones. I actually believe that because I feel like I've been in that situation before. So there's sometimes that it's good to be in the bigger agencies, but now if these big agencies have a lot of bigger celebrities, bigger models and everything, and it's possible that they forget about you. The advantage of being in a smaller agency is that they have smaller amount of models that they can literally invest their time, effort into. They will check up on you more, they will promote you more because it's not even about you, it's about them too because they want to grow. At the process of doing that, they are also improving their models and everything. But a bigger agency is more of they already have that status that they want. So they don't care about just booking this line for the first time because even they are the shit.
So what you're saying is that before you sign, you should know what you want. Do you want to take the chance of, okay, let me sign to this big agency and maybe one day they will look at me and like, okay, let's push you. Or sign with an agency that's like, okay, we have your time and we are going to make you a star. I mean, you have had lots of encounters, funny encounters with agents.
Like I've been in a top agency before, and trust me, they invite me over, and once I signed, I waited like 3 years of my life just
Where? In Lagos.
Top agency, basically, once number one.
And you see,
I was there for 3 years.
Story. Because I'm also signed to one big agency in Nigeria, like mother agent. And when I got signed to my mother agent, it was during the lockdown. Literally, when the lockdown was lifted, she was making every effort to send me out of Africa, like out of Nigeria. She was like, okay, get your passport done. I don't have money to get my passport. She was like, okay, take this money, go and get your passport done. She's big. But a small agency, they would not give you money to get your passport done. It's not because, it's just that they are also growing. They don't have enough funds to. But she's big. She was like, take this money, go get your passport done. I got my passport done. I applied for my visa the first time. They refused me. She was like, don't worry, you do it again. Oh, don't worry. Second time, I did it again. Refused.
Let us
know,
Let me
please.
go apply.
The third time, that was when I
The third time.
Yeah, the third time. That was when I got my visa, and she flew me out almost a week after I got it. She was pushing. And honestly, I feel like that favored me a lot because I was coming from Ekiti to Lagos, and I was not working. I was just no money. I was a student.
I'm going to speak from the point of being in a smaller agency.
The thing is about
right?
the agency is that when I first joined the agency, the reason why I joined the agency was my brother was on that day.
Okay.
I saw my brother doing well for his first time. I was in uni when I received the contract. He told me any to not sign to that agency.
So you did not hear what?
I did not listen. I reached out to 2 top models that were under that agency. They're like, oh, join now.
Please, what's the name of the agency?
No. I rather not speak. So I reached out to 2 people and they're like, oh, sign and everything. And I was like, anyway, there's this lady that owns this agency, but I didn't even know who she was. I googled her, nothing. Trust me. Right now, that lady's agency is one of the best. Her boys are killing it. And the thing about me is that I have missed. One thing I feel my regret in modeling. I would say I regret not taking the opportunity that came then. Because I won't lie to you. I had so many. My own Instagram, I'm showing DM from top agencies, but I was focusing very first. 3 years went by.
That's the big one.
And 3 years went by. These people only took my Polaroids once. Never heard from them. The only person that signed me, I heard that he's out of the country, went for his masters or something. Until I joined a little agency. I won't call it little. It's upcoming agency. And under 6 months, I was out of the country.
And I would speak from the point of the agency I signed to is an upcoming agency. And I tell you that these guys have been pushing me like mad. oh, there's an event for you. Go for this event. Oh, we have this job for you. Oh, we have this, we have this, we have this, we have that. I know that some people sometimes it's not really about how big your agency is. But like before, when you even sit down and speak to these people, you can tell that you know their intentions are pure, that they are good. You can tell that your intentions are pure.
One thing I want to say is another disadvantage of like being with small agencies is that these small agencies
Them small. Let's say
No,
upcoming.
no,
I don't like the
She's
word.
getting somewhere.
I don't like the word.
She's getting somewhere. Go on. She's getting somewhere. Go on.
okay, these upcoming agencies.
Yeah.
You know they are growing. Their phones too are just growing. So like you're open to
Open to billing. Let me help you and say it. You're open to billing.
you're open to like paying much money. Like sometimes they
What
stick
is your
from
career?
Yeah, trust me.
It's
There's an
career
agency
now.
that reached out to me. I was like, oh, don't take me to Asia. No. If he sees this video, I don't care. Yeah, I don't care. If they give me the right to say his name, I will say it.
You can call his
Let's
name.
say-
Don't call anybody's
So let
name.
me not say.
bro.
Let me not
No,
say.
we'll move it
He
in
reached
post.
out to me, told me to come over. I took the polarizing and everything. And next thing you know, I reached my house. They're like, oh, sign the contract. I was like, I'm still next thing, like, Alpha. I'm going to keep.
Borrow him to.
Like, I swear, he was like, I want to buy a card.
Did you sign
I
that
actually, no. I actually sent him the 2K.
You sent
So I
it?
just sent it.
Wow.
Another time, he said, Alpha, screaming shawarma.
Uh-uh.
No, that's
Now wait.
that's doing too much.
I be
So
like,
I did some digging.
Eh.
I had some girls did like a boot camp with him.
Eh.
Told them to pay like 10,000 naira. After this girl came to me and told me that the days that's from money. Anytime you see them partying or clubbing or something, now take them Alpha, find girl. Give your boy, find something for your boy now.
You know, that's it. Okay, I have this other one. How these upcoming agencies too. They tend to, because I have friends, model friends, that, and I've seen some, although I'm not supposed to admit this, but then models talk. Okay, we always ask ourselves like, is this good? Is this good? All of that. So I have noticed one thing with upcoming agencies. They tend to add like additional percentage to the rate of work. Let me explain to you. They tend to add like 5 to 10% on top of whatever percentage you're getting. So when you read your contract, you definitely see, okay, this is how much the agency is getting, this is how much the agency is getting. It's a 60%, the agency gets 40, yada. You read that part of the agency is there, you can understand. Now there's one hidden clause that models sometimes don't see, or maybe the words are too big and you just don't understand. You're just there like, okay, I mean they're getting 40%. I think this part of it you just read the next page. Now this hidden clause that you don't read or you do not understand, they would, they'll definitely be some percentage like 5%, 3%. Now this clause used to mean when you travel outside of Nigeria. Now done the job, the foreign agency paid you. Now this foreign agency, they're also paying your MA, okay? Because when they remove 40%, they split it among themselves. They pay the MA, pay themselves. Now your own MA has written in that contract that once you get your payment from the foreign agency, you're supposed to pay them
another percent.
another 5% for another thing. I have noticed this in 3 of my friends, and they all sent their contracts. We're like, oh, the agency, they do this, and I was like, no, what do you mean? I mean,
Well, look at it.
smaller
They
agencies,
signed this
still-
they signed this contract. They were not forced.
But then that's what we're saying.
But
They are,
it's
they are
not
doing this.
It's
This
not
this
fair.
this thing they're doing
But
is
it's-
not right.
Of
It's-
course, they signed
it's-
the contract, but
it's
you
not
don't-
about-
you don't
It's
make
not
it
right.
It's not about
Exactly.
if it's not fair, just don't sign the contract. That's why I say first you have to read this thing. If you don't understand it, go to a lawyer.
The lawyer will charge you.
Because contract is contract.
They're not
People can decide to enforce it to the later. So before you sign the contract, one thing I will just tell models, whether you are signed or you want to get signed, always read your contract.
Yes.
Very important is
As you
read your
heard
contract.
from our guests, always read your contract. And as we have said, you want to be signed or you don't want to be signed, it's your decision. You can either be signed under a big agency or an upcoming agency. And choose to after 5 years or some years of being signed, because as an upcoming model, you need to understand the industry. So you can't come in and say you don't want to be signed because they will do you anyhow. So yes,
Thank you very much, and we'll catch you again on Model Talk, brought to you by the Model Look.